Absolutely, we are millennials and literally we are making a move. My name is Safia Mohamed Hussein, well known as Ishwaq Demon. You are Miss Art Somalia 2022. Coming from a community that boasts of having the longest coastline in mainland of Africa, but directly threatened by climate change and drought desertification. My minor in girl child activism and environmental activism focuses on using the Miss Earth platform to educate fellow Somali girls on the importance of climate change. I joined beauty pageant because it has given me the skills and the confidence to face my own problems, and I gained a lot of skills, be it writing, be it public speaking, be it, being a fashion model or a beauty queen, because it takes courage, and I can say beauty pageants or modeling thing really gave me a lot of skills that I still pursue them in my dreams. Also, I have future goals for my pageant since I am becoming a pageant coach and a trainer. Okay, I love doing most interacting with people, mentoring the young Somali girls on the importance of climate change, sometimes mental health issues, and what is most importantly, what I really love doing with them is doing activities with them, bringing projects together, working with them, going for orphanages, like interacting more with these candidates or beauty queens or upcoming teenagers who really have dreams that they want to focus on, whereby we didn't get someone who can really stand by us, help us in our dreams or even in our projects. So we do work together on projects, going for orphanages, and most of the times I happen to love visiting the orphans and interacting with the children. First, before I finish school, I am still pursuing project management. At the same time, I want to pursue fashion and designing. That's my second career. After I finished school, I really wanted to become fashion designers for the upcoming Misses for Somalia, be it Miss Earth Somalia, be it Miss World Somalia, or Miss International Somalia. And hopefully, I am really focusing on opening a pageant place in Isili so that I can at least coach the Somali girls on the importance of being a beauty queen and having your own projects and getting like sponsors, being sponsored or being supported by the medias, being supported by the, governments, and yeah. One thing I really admire about my beautiful country is we have amazing beaches, jungles, and national parks, whereby for Somalia, people do have that picture in their head that we have bombings and there are no more activities that are going in Somalia, whereby when you step into Somalia, the first thing that comes forward to you are the welcoming people, beautiful Somali welcoming people who are going to get you to do like more activities, welcome you to Somalia. Yeah, you also find that we have less theft in Somalia, whereby on your walk to Somali roads, there are exchange of rates, exchange of money there, whereby in Nairobi's or in any other country, you have to go to the bank to get that money. But in Somalia, things are the other way. So it's more safer, it's more, less bombed, but the picture we have in our minds or social media persuades is more negative. And I wish people to visit Somalia and see them for themselves. In our family, we are 7, and me being the third born of the family, I really admired beauty pageants, modeling, or being showcased on social medias. For instance, on TVs or on big screens was one of my biggest dreams at my childhood things. I was born in Nairobi, Westwood Hospital in Isili, and I went to school on 2004. Whereby I went to Mansour Primary School. I started my primary school there. I finished on 2008. Teachers also used to tell me like I am a go-getter, whereby when it comes to, curriculum things and games times, I was a good athletic, and I remember winning some awards, but they were not that big, but at least I won some awards in my athletic games, and I was also performing on, acting side. I remember, I used to do some actings a little bit, so that at least to get that motive of having my own dream, like, am I good at this place or am I good in this place? So I was just trying where I can fall into my dream or where I can fall into my career. And before I finished my primary school, I remember being on class 8 before my KCPE exams. We went to a national park, and I remember we were, saying hi to the monkeys, taking pictures with the students, since it was the last time we were going to meet or having time together. Then teachers were like, we need to talk of something, like bring a small poem about today's events or today's activities. And, it was a bit a competitive thing, and I remember at least coming up with something about my poet thing, and I wrote a good small article about my poem, whereby I got awarded by an American guy who was just, he was just being a judge at that moment for us, like who wrote the best poem or who has talked about today's best activities. And I won some good amount of money by then. You guys well know that in our community, in our Somali community, it's hard for our Somali girls to pursue high school or even college and universities due to our, cultural thing and beliefs that our old people do believe still. Alhamdulillah, despite that, I went to high school by the help of my mom, and I finished my high school. Before I finished my high school, let me just take you a small journey through my high school, whereby back in my primary, I used to pursue poems, but like literature things come when you join high school, and you need to correct like some of the things, like you need to come with rhythm, you need to come with, that intonation thing that comes on with like, A or B things in your poems, and coming with irony in your poem or something that you can pursue or say it through your poem. So I remember it was a good opportunity for me being in high school, and my English teacher coming up with these literature things and focusing more, since I was also a poet, and performing on stages was one of my weekly things. Like each and every Sunday we used to do a stage performance of our weekdays or anything you want to perform. So I remember we also had a competition with Pomwani Girls High School sometimes back, whereby we had a poem session, we had singing sessions, like debate sessions. So any place like you can fall is how you can become like a good competitor to your school or to your class or to your team. For instance, you can see like some girls are from Pumbani Girls and some are from our school, but then we are in one team, two schools but one team, and we are against another team. So it was a good interacting sessions, and I learned some more skills like interacting with people, competing with like enjoying how you can compete with people, and focusing on like the key points where you want to focus on or get competed.
Baby girl, I love you so, I will never let you go.
During my last year, we were affected by COVID a lot, but still, I am one of that 1% that really came out of that sector in a good way. I remember we were to lockdown, and everyone was just on their phones and thinking of what to do for their future, because like no one could prescribe like the future, like what is going to be the future henceforth. So I remember just scrolling things on my Instagram, and I came this page, Rain Pageant Academy, whereby I saw this picture like poster of talking of online registration, and then we have a physical session with the coach, and then we get to be coached and become a model and then be signed under that academy. So I reached out to her, I talked to her, and finally, alhamdulillah, she registered me and we had to meet. After that, we became, I started doing the trainings first. I remember even when I went back to school, it was so hard for me to focus on school, at the same time focus on pageant thing. But all after all, we had like these free lessons whereby I can get a chance to at least go out, since it is just 30 minutes away where the place we were getting trained at. So I went there, get trained in a month, and the second month it was a competition, and I got a certificate of participation. Actually, I never won that one, but I got a certificate of appreciation and attendance and participating, whereby that certificate has opened a lot of doors for me. Till today, I always say like that was my first door or first entryway to my pageant thing. Coming back to school and finishing my high school, after I finished my high school is when I started doing more of pageant things and going for Miss Africa and Miss Africa Golden Somalia. Miss Africa, I never won anything, but I went again like the next trial or the next time. So whereby I won Miss African Golden Somalia for the first time ever. Well, you know, our Somali community don't support much of pageant things, but how we pursue of pageantry, like how I am going to pursue pageantry and show it to the Somali people, is what really made my parents to support me. Gladly that pageants, they offer you, like if you can't do bikini, if you can't do your hair out, they really respect that of your religion, and that's what made me unique from all other pageants, from all other contestants, I mean. So happening that my mom is one of my biggest supporters ever. Like you can imagine, even when I'm going for a pageant, she's the first one to get me things. If I don't have a bag or my luggages are too big at the airport or they weigh too much, they were supposed to be weighed, but Alhamdulillah, she is one of the biggest supporters that I ever have now, and I can say being friends to your parents is what can make your parents support you. If you don't tell them like this is your dream and this is how you want to pursue them, there's no way that they are going to support you. But for me, I found that one way of being friends to my mom and telling her like this is what I want to do, and I really want you to support me in this. And her seeing how hard work I put in it, she really had to support me, and that's how I am. And where I am today is just because of her. I will really urge and advise my other Somali parents to support their children, be it a dream, be it a school. You can imagine like someone has a dream of becoming a doctor, and he or she wants to pursue a doctor in high school, in university. But the parents are not supporting that because of, if the girl, she is almost 20s or in her 20s, they really support her by telling her to get married or do something that is, you know, more appropriate than going to school way more longer. They think of, you know, like as 20 years old and taking more like plus 6 years on your university as a doctor, it's like too long for that child, and she's wasting a lot of time. But in real sense, she is really doing something than being married to someone who is not even going to care for your kids. So I believe with the current, like we are in our 2022, and we need to support our children by overcoming their dreams and doing whatever they want in life and pursuing their dream life. In my life, I achieved a lot of goals, but only to mention them. First, I won Miss Art Somalia. That's one of my biggest achievements. And second, writing my own magazine, which I am to publish soon. But I am going to get into more details after this commercial break. Welcome back. I am still here, Miss Art Somalia 2022. Getting into my highlights, I can first start with my title, Miss Art Somalia. Winning Miss Art Somalia was one of my biggest achievements in 2022. I remember, since Miss Art is one of the big 4 international pageants, and the MC telling or nominating the top 3 listed Miss Art, like the top 3 listed winners for Miss Art Somalia, I was like, getting that butterflies and lots of, heart beatings for like, am I going to be the one who's going to say, and the crowds going silent. Like, it was just so another experience that I don't know how I can explain it into words or put it into words. But when he said like my name, I remember like I started shaking, like I couldn't move even. So like having the crown and getting the flowers and putting the crown, like someone putting for me the crown, it was just like another dream, like I couldn't imagine. I had less time for preparations for Miss Earth Somalia, and we had our events postponed for once. It was supposed to happen in Zanzibar, but it was then took back to Kampala in Uganda. So I remember I prepared well by myself and at least, search on the most important topics that I need to talk about on my question and answer sessions. Alhamdulillah, it was a good experience for me, and I believe each and every dreamer who wants to achieve his or her dream has to take a step forward to see, or to at least try what he or she wanted to do in life to get her dream. I want to use my crown and title in empowering the young Somali girls to change the climate issues that are happening in Somalia, me being the leader. I first want to start by working with this friend of mine called Amal. She's an environmental activism, and she won an award for that back there in Ghana. So I want to start by opening dams and digging wells in Somalia, whereby we can overcome the drought sections in Somalia. Droughts and climate change has affected women and young Somali girls in Somalia, whereby there are no schools, there are no food to eat, and nothing, and no one can work. When there is drought, there is no food, and there is no good climate, and less of food and less of water, or lack of water, is really what is making the Somali generation, or Somali girls and women, to have this non-impactful life or non-impactful dreams. And I really want to stand out and be the voice for the girls who are not able to talk for themselves. My second achievement in life as a beauty queen, or as even the newly crowned Miss Earth Somalia, is I am almost or ready to publish my magazine, which I cannot go into details with it since it's in work progress. But I am currently almost after my competition in Philippines. When I come back to Nairobi, I want to open an NGO whereby it is going mainly to focus on empowering the young Somali girls. I have its name, but I am going to share it sometime later on my social media platforms. Well, the key highlights of my NGO will be empowering the young Somali girls, standing for and talking for mental health issues. I have a couple key highlights of my NGO, but for more details, I am going to share it on my social media platforms. The reason why I'm coming up with this mental health issue is that it really affects our Somali girls when it comes to their dreams and they want to achieve in life, be it becoming a doctor, be it becoming a model. Most of the times when a beauty queen wants to be, like a Somali girl wants to be a beauty queen, the family are against her with no reason, I don't want you to be a model, I don't want you to be seen here, but they are there on TikToks, on medias, or even on Instagram, having great followers and likes, but no one is saying okay, this is how she's going to dress at the same time and being a model and having a title as Miss Somalia or Miss Somalia like this. So I think it's high time for us to talk of mental health issues.
Having the beans, is that okay? Is it okay if I call you my pride, babe?
Having the title as Miss Earth Somalia, we are going to Philippines to represent Somalia in Philippines. We have all Miss Earth from globally, all the global countries. So I'm going to have my last competition as Miss Earth Somalia in Philippines this coming November 21st. And I wish you guys wish me good luck in that pageant, because It's really impacting my Somali girls. At the same time, talking of the climate and drought sections that are affecting in Somalia, it's high time I can go and represent my Somalia and talk of these issues in a bigger platform so that it can be heard. Well, I am preparing myself in all terms, like on all angles. For instance, be it by search, be it by collaborating with people, be it by, searching on most of the Miss Earth pageant things and, key highlights of my competition. Also, my wardrobe things. And me and my director, we have already reached out to some international designers for our wardrobe, for the gowns, for the competitions. Also, I'm working on my training. And yes, it's high time for me to go back to gym also for my fitness. So yeah, I am preparing well by myself. Favorite mantra is, first I put Allah and in all my doings. I believe He is and He knows what is inside our hearts and what we really want to achieve. And I also believe one of my mantras that nothing comes at ease and hard work really pays. So yeah, I think that's what keeps me moving and going, achieving my goals. Also focusing and being confident by yourself, like trying or loving yourself and being confident by yourself is what really makes you be a winner or do something that you wanted to do in life. I know there are obstacles, there are problems and that wants to stop you, but if you can't stand by and try your best to overcome them, I don't think there was even a reason by why you even started or thought of having that dream. So if you started, I think it's high time for you to also finish it because you started and you knew it's going to be hard, but you can overcome it. I am a good role model to myself. First, I look forward to my wins and actually my small wins. I've never talked of big wins in my life or having my big wins in my life. Actually, I never focus on that side, but the small wins are where I am today, like they brought me where I am today. One of the challenges that I faced as a beauty queen in my life is the Somali community doesn't support modeling things, and as far I persuaded Somali people supporting me, I never got that support that I wanted from my Somali people. But still, the lesson that I learned from it is trying to reach out to people or making them understand this or, pushing things more oftenly is not the way I was supposed to do it. Actually focusing more on my goals and, trying not to focus on how people are pursuing of me was the only way I went wrong about. And the lesson that I learned from it is focusing more on myself is what made me here today. Well, I will encourage my young fellow Somali women or Somali girls who want to be a beauty queen to love themselves first. If you don't love yourself, no one is going to love you. Be confident and know what you want. Like, if you want to be a miss, you gotta do like each and everything that you want to do to be the miss. So I think the only advice I can say is be confident and know that you are beautiful inside and out and try it. Without trial, there's nothing you are doing or there's nowhere you are going.